All right, let's continue our look at the 5 tools that we recommend that you start out with when first using Photoshop. And the next one is the Clone Stamp tool. It's located right here, and when you click on it, we'll bring the cursor into the image, and you can see it looks just like the other brushes from some of the other tools. We'll come down here and look at what we want to work on, and this guy right here is kind of in our image of the Refugio Sonforca in the Dolomite Mountains of northern Italy. I did a workshop there recently, and John got into one of my pictures. So let's go ahead and look at how we can take him out. Now, you might ask yourself, why can't we use the spot healing brush for this? And let's take a look at why not. First thing I'm going to do is go to 100% magnification on this image, and then put the cursor around John, give it a click. And you can see where that kind of result is really not what we're looking for. If I click on the pointer here, you notice the distortion in the footpath, more distortion in the footpath. We've got some artifacting going on right here, and it's just not a good result. So let's go ahead and back up in the history states. And the best way to deal with this is with the Clone Stamp tool. Go ahead and click on it again. We'll come over here, and I'm going to reduce the size of the brush with the left bracket key to about there, maybe a little smaller, to about right there. And what the Clone Stamp tool does is that it samples from one area and deposits on another area. Okay, so you hold down the Option key, and you see how the icon changes when we do that. Lift it up, push it down, and it changes to this little circle with the crosshatch in it. You click once on that, and that establishes where the image information is going to be taken from. And then as we move our cursor over to the area of the image we want to correct, that's where it's going to deposit the image information to. Okay, so from here to here, all right? Now we line up that little image in the middle of the circle and just go ahead and click. And as we move, you'll notice that the crosshatch to the right of the cursor is indicating where the image information is being gathered from. And we just click. Now notice also the distance and position relative to the cursor does not change. So wherever we move the cursor, the sample point is going to change as well. And sometimes that's a real advantage. And watch what happens, okay? I can also drag this. You don't have to just hunt and peck all the time. You can drag this. So as we drag it across, notice how seamlessly it goes in. And this is actually a very, very simple application of this tool right here. And we can very, very quickly take John out of the image. Now you've got some duplicate items here that we can get rid of, and let's change the sample area to over here, and then we'll come over and just kind of dab that out. We've also got an area right here, so let's sample from here, and we'll dab that out so that it doesn't look photoshopped, even though it is. So you see how easy it was to make that correction. Now let me show you a little bit more of a difficult situation over here, and I don't want you to even try to do this now, but just to demonstrate to you the intricacies that you can bring to bear when you use this tool. I don't think you're quite ready for it yet, but you take a sample from here, and let's say we want to get rid of this flagpole right here, just for grins, okay? So we're going to sample from right here. Let me do another one. From right there. And then we're going to come down and click. Now notice when we click, see how that little artifact right there? I think let's get in a little closer. See how that little artifact comes down? So what we have to do is back up. Let's back up again. And then we will change the sample point. And lots of times you'll change this sample point many, many times. I'm going to bring the cursor just a little bit smaller. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this snow retention device that is very common in Italy in the mountains for obvious reasons. I'm going to click on that, come down, and now we have to go back to this area and get a sample point from there. And we'll come up. That looks pretty good. Now we'll take another sample point from right here and come down. And then we'll take another sample point from right here and come across. So you can see that sometimes these removal processes can get very intricate. And we'll come up here, and then we'll sample from here and come over, and then go up to get rid of the rest of the flagpole. And that's not a perfect result, but you get the idea. You can get really, really precise with using the clone stamp tool. Again, come in, practice with it. You can't hurt anything. And when you get to a place to where you made a mistake and you want to back up, once again, come to the history states and just go back up to where you want to start over again, or hit Command or Control Z, and that'll do it for you. So the clone stamp tool is something you'll use a lot when working on your images in Photoshop.